going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to be MIA from the socials. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But yeah, today we're going to talk about 2020. Should 2020 needs to be compared to prior years? Should anything that you do this year count? Should anything you do this year be indicative of what you're going to do on the platform? Difference between competing at locals versus nationals. I'm going to try to provide some perspectives that people that aren't a coach, especially one of my, just me, right? Just I don't want to get too. We don't want to get too into it. I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you guys a different perspective and just try to set a better expectation. Keep people focused and just let people know that just because things are happening, mock meets are happening, locals are happening, that may or may not be indicative of what to expect on the platform. Now, what inspired this was that I was watching a podcast with Shannon Sharp. He was interviewing LeVar Ball, or the father of LaMelo, one of those dudes, right? And he was saying that the NBA players that were in the bubble could control all of their variables, right? There was not any, they literally just practice, compete, go back to the hotel. Practice, compete, come back to the hotel. A lot of people in quarantine right now, this is kind of your reality, right? You train, maybe you train in a bunker, you go home, you work from home. You're not really moving much. You don't really have any place to go or anything to do because we're all freaking locked down, right? Me living in Los Angeles, we get it probably worse unless you're in New York, right? So, that being said, we have seen a sort of an explosion of a lot of people just sort of blowing up their old totals. And I did a poll. I had a very extensive story on it. You guys have probably seen it. But essentially, what I think is happening and what a lot of people have said to me, and I don't want to say his name, but I want to read it. But essentially what's going on is people are not burning as many calories in other places, so they can just focus on lifting, and they have a lot less stress and variables. Some people do, some people don't. COVID affects everybody differently, right? And they're able to give a little bit more effort to powerlifting. If you're not taking 20K steps a day on campus, maybe you can recover a little bit better from your powerlifting. Another thing, when you compete at a local competition, and you're not like at nationals, like people will see a local competition and think, oh look, this person put up this total. It's a little bit different when you're at nationals and you have direct opposition. What am I talking about? Anybody that's been to nationals knows that when you're the process of traveling to nationals, the anticipation, the stress of travel, setting things up, getting everything together, going down to the venue, weighing in, having to make weight, especially if you're in a primetime session, just seeing all the other competitors, you're warming up next to them. There's like stress there. There's animosity. There's whatever, right? It's a little bit different when somebody's there. Now, you might, if you're inexperienced, you might be nervous what they're lifting. You might be trying to one-up them. There's all these different things that go on. And I want to paint a scenario in which a lifter may put up a total at a local competition, which may be very different from a total they put up at nationals, right? What the heck am I talking about? I'm going to use, I don't know. I'm going to use Mikey as an example because we kind of did that, right? Coming into nationals, I'm pretty sure everybody knew in the 105 kg class that Ashton Ruska was the strongest 105 in the building. Meaning, if this person goes 9 for 9 and he hits all his lifts like you would at a local, he wins. He just wins. For one reason or another, that did not happen. He missed a couple benches. I don't remember if he got all his squats. But regardless, we were in a very interesting scenario when we got to the third deadlift, where Mikey could get fourth to second to first. Bryce could get first to second to third. Amendola could get third to second to fourth, whatever, right? We had this like really weird situation going on. Now, I had to try to predict the future and think, okay, Ashton's going to try to go for the win, which I guarantee you a million people do at nationals, because if you look at any nationals and you just look at the third deadlift, red, 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 red. There's like tons of people trying to go for the win and they're just missing left and right. It's like the most missed lift in a meet, right? There's literal flights with pure reds in the thirds, or one green and all reds, right? So somebody at a local meet, right? Ashton, for example, he doesn't have to try to catch Bryce because he hit all his benches. He's, I don't know, let's say, I'm just making this up, right? Ashton's a really strong mentally guy. He's not going to care what other people are doing, I would like to think. He hits all his benches. He comes in, he just focuses on him. He's a stronger lifter, hits 3 deadlifts, and he wins, right? That didn't happen. What ended up happening is he missed a couple benches. So Bryce just tried to hit whatever he thought he could hit. And Ashton loaded away and went for the win. I thought he could do it, but I guess he was gassed and he didn't. Now that total that he ends with, that is a nationals total. But it is not what his true strength is, because the situation was kind of weird. Attempts were weird. He missed some lifts. He was unable to portray his true strength in that moment. And because of that, that opened the door for somebody like Mikey to jump ahead. Okay, now that you missed, you have this big hole in your total. Jump ahead and you know, take second. I just did a podcast with Angelo. Shout out to my Italian brethren. Right? We were talking about the 83s. Let's say Russ has a big fat total, and Sean Noriega, we all know him. He just wants to. He's gonna go for the win no matter what. There's no way he's not gonna try to get it on his. I don't know if his decision would change. I can ask him after this, but I'm pretty confident he's just gonna send it and try to pull if he has to. All right? Say typical, you know, gets 2 squats, like gets 3 benches, and then has to send it on his third. If he does that and he misses, now those guys in third place can jump ahead and take second, right? Now Sean is obviously stronger than those other people, but he was trying to catch Russ, so those other guys were able to catch up. This is just I'm just painting this picture right now, right? Just for like conversation, right? So if you look at the 825 that he put up, if Russ is there, Russ is going to push Sean out of 825. He's going to have to hit something more than that, right? So his 825 may be like 810. It might be 815. It might be different. So a lot of these people that are competing at these locals right now, right? They're just showing you like what they're capable of. But when push comes to shove and you're at nationals, maybe you miss some lifts. Maybe the judging is a lot stricter. You don't know. You're going to have to go out of that. You might have to go out of that range to try to hit that. Not to mention 2020. You're staying at home, you're focusing on like variables that like you have more control over variables. You're probably not gonna be as stressed. You know, you might have a better performance in this scenario than you ever will at a situation where the world is opened up. Right? You're walking more, you're doing more things. From personal experience, coaching Sean when he was at MIT, this man was at school every day. He's got to walk everywhere. Hey, I remember he got a job towards the end, and it was just like a lot of outside things going on. Now that it's just powerlifting, I think for him, he'll probably be normal. Like, it'll be the same thing because whether the world's open or not doesn't really affect him. But for a lot of people, now you're going to have to go back to work. You're going to have to wake up early. You got to get in your car. You got to drive to someplace. You're going to have to do things, you know, maybe that are going to take away from powerlifting, right? Powerlifting is almost a side thing to what our main thing is in life. For me, it's my main thing, right? Coaching is my main thing, so I focus on that. I don't have, you know, I build my life around that. But everybody's different, right? So the meets that you see right now in this very rare scenario may not be the same as when things open up. It's going to depend on person to person. Some people I think are going to continue to elevate and put up big totals. Some people they're not. So it's important to set the correct expectation. You don't want to look at these mock meets and look at these things where people aren't cutting weight or whatever and be like, yo, this is what they're going to put up. Now, I'm going to speak on my people. If you work with me, and I handle you, people like Russ, whatever, we are going to try to do that after cutting weight because I believe he can do that, and I have believed he could have done that for quite a while now, right? But I will always keep my lifters honest, and I will not let them think that they are something they are not. I will always rein them in and be like, yo, if I say you can pull 744, it's because I believe it. If that might be a shock to you, but I believe it, right? Now, after cutting weight, I will evaluate the situation, and if squats are 5 kg off, then probably deadlifts will be 5 kg off. We'll see. So I think it's important for people to, it's great that you're hitting big mock meets. It's great that you're hitting these big totals. But I think it's really, 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 really important to stay honest and true to yourself and make sure that you don't try to go into a meet like hitting these numbers if you know your technique is worse in competitions, and you have trouble with execution, and you know that you're going to have outside variables that are going to affect you and prevent you from performing the way that you normally would, then it's really important that you understand that. Otherwise, you're going to have these people that I don't understand. I did so good in the gym, and I'm not able to replicate that or reproduce that once I get into competition and things like that. Right? You have to set the correct expectation, stay focused, understand meet day conditions with direct opposition. You might be a little bit nervous, right? You just traveled, right? Maybe you're flying across the world. Maybe you're flying 8 hours. I don't know. You got to be honest with yourself, right? So enjoy the dubs, right? Enjoy the win. Enjoy the gym PRs. Enjoy whatever PRs you get. There's a lot of times when, even coming into previous meets, where my lifters will hit big numbers in the gym, but I know they lose a little bit of that when they cut. We just kind of pull it down by 5 keys, right? On some lifts. But not always. Sometimes it's a lot more. Jesus Olivares, way more. We're going to hit way more because we're not cutting weight. Big boys peak different, right? So you want to enjoy the wins, but be mindful that you're going to have to prove it when threats are present. When you have opposition there, when you're going to be faced with a decision. Do you want to try to gun it for first place, or do you want to get that 9 for 9, get a solid second, third place, and have that nice little, 9 for 9 to look at, right? In the database when you're done. There's different things, right? You can't judge them equally. And then just be real with yourself. If you're just being honest with yourself, if you're being honest, if you're did I just say honest twice? Staying objective. If you understand, I did this and I didn't cut, or I did this at a local and they were kind of lax on judging, or I didn't have to travel for this meet and I didn't have to worry about shit. For me, my Arnold, I was supposed to weigh in at 2 p.m. I believe. They moved me up to 8 or 9. And I had already planned how I was gonna water load, my sleep schedule, everything. I picked my flight based on that, right? And then they suddenly last minute, because of Corona, they just moved me up. And now I'm all right, I gotta adapt. This is clearly not what I wanted. I would have taken my last taper workout probably a day before, or a little bit later, or maybe I would have done something different. I don't know. No, I would have done it earlier. So I had more rest. This is what happens, with this crazy situation. Things change. So, just be mindful. Get the PRs. Do what you got to do. For me, it is kind of strange. Everybody's just home, kind of gaining weight, right? But there's a disease going around that punishes you for that, right? So it's strange. I don't know. These are very, very, very weird times. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll leave you with this. Do local meet totals deserve an asterisk next to it, given the current situation, or is what you hit at a local the same as what you would hit at nationals with threats in front of you, with judging and travel and all that? Maybe you sleep easier at home when you're just driving down the street to a meet versus you're at nationals, you're in your first prime time, you're going to be going head to head with your competitors, and you're just super excited and you can't sleep all night. You know what I mean? It's different. So let me know what you guys think. Got a lot of spicy topics coming up. We got to do Amanda's Coach's Corner Black Friday sale. Keep an eye out for that. We restocked on banners. Wide body tees are going out. They got to be going out this week. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about stuff like this, let me know in the comments below. Let me get a hashtag be real. Hashtag be real in the comments down below. Stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving. Tell somebody you care about them, that you're thankful for something. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.